Good morning, the Flamed Aleph, Snake Adoran. So I have to say,
Old habits are hard to break. I think the hardest habit to break apparently is the habit of blaming the future. I'll have details of how it all.
Okay. Okay. Two potters that were following each other, walking in the street, were single file. And the potters doesn't say some people potters means that they have pots. They're carrying the pots. That also might be something to talk about if the pot damaged or got damaged. So two potters are walking in the street, obviously carrying their pots, pottery. The Nithkal, Rishon, and the first one tripped on his feet without anything. No ball was over there. He just stumbled. The Nafal, and he fell. The Nithkal Sheni Rishon, and the second one tripped over the first one. The first one fell, and the second one fell over the first one. So the first one is high for the damages that happened to the second one because they didn't have such a case yet. He became a bore. The fact that he fell and then someone tripped on him, he became a bore. You could talk about, I think we're going to think at some point we'll be talking about, is he called a bore or is he called Adam Amazik? He's an Adam, but he's an Adam who's a bore. So he called the Adam, was he called the bore? That might come up in the segment.
Thank you.
Good, everybody? Is anything in the way?
Yeah, it's in the way.
It's in the way. Okay.
Thank you.
Is this better over here?
Yeah, it's much better.
Oh, is that good?
That's
So it seems like a Mishnah that is it so simple? It's not so simple. Is the first one responsible for falling? Before we had an issue about the most we're going to talk about. Before we had an issue about Niskal Posheya, it's considered negligence of trip, or it's considered an accident. People fall. Niskal Posheya, Niskal Posheya. Before we had the subject about when somebody tripped and stumbled and fell, if he's chayiv for the bore that he created by doing that. Here it talks about that he created himself. He made himself into a bore. Is that considered a pshia or not? So the Mishnah seems to say, if you learn the Mishnah simply, the fact that the first one stumbled, is considered a negligence, and he's chayiv for the damages that happened to the second one. That would be something on the Mishnah. Mishnah is class. We would say this Mishnah holds like Rav Meir, that somebody stumbles is considered negligence, and he made himself into a bore with negligence, and therefore it's high for the damages that happened to the second one. It's nice, easy, simple Mishnah. The Gemara starts, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Lo tema masis Rav Meir. You don't necessarily have to say that our Mishnah is only Rav Meir that holds that it's a negligence that he fell. And that's why he's chayiv the b'chayiv, and that's why he's chayiv for the damages that he caused, that someone tripped on him. You don't have to say that. It's a good shot, but you don't have to say that it's after Rav Meir. Elafilu Rabbanan Dami Onasu upater hacha chayiv shayiv. Even if they hold like Rabbi Yehuda that says that it's considered an onus that a person falls. When a person stumbles, it's okay. It's not definitely negligence, not necessarily negligence. And the fact that he fell is not a taina on him. So why is it chayiv if somebody trips on him? That he should have gotten up. The reason why he's chayiv is because he should have stood up. The fact that he fell is not a taina. But the taina is why you get up. You're standing or you're in the floor. You know that in the Rishus Rabbim that if you are lying on the floor, you could become a mikshel. Someone might trip on you. So you should have gotten up. So that
we kind of changed it. We changed what our understanding of the Mishnah was. We thought he fell, and then immediately this guy fell, and now we're saying he fell and he was lying there and didn't
get up. So the Yaakov was saying that according to this Nubshat, it's only if you have enough time to get up. Because in the first, if you say the time, it's very nice. If you say the time is why you fell, so then even if there was no time, it was no time. You couldn't have gotten up. But it's high because you shouldn't have fallen. The falling is the problem. So you're right. But now that the Gemara is suggesting, you could say the Mishnah is talking according to Rabbana and Rabbi Yehuda that has that it's not a time that you fell. We could say that he had enough time to get up and he didn't get up. That's why it's a time on him.
How did he fall?
He stumbled on his feet.
Oh, and that's considered could be a pshia.
That's machlokes if it's a pshia or not. Rav Meir says it's a pshia. You can learn the Mishnah simply. If you hold that it's not a pshia, so why is it chayiv that someone tripped over him because he should have gotten up if he had enough time to get it? The Gemara now is another sugya. similar, but another point. What if he didn't have enough time to get up, but he had enough time to scream out and say, stop, come on, like putting on his red flashing lights. Nowadays, they did a wonderful thing that they made that the car automatically, I mean, if you use the brake, if you don't use the brakes, use the brakes, and then automatically you have a warning sign for the one behind
They
them.
used to not be that way.
I mean, the people over here, they used to walk and they stopped. They didn't have, but if you would call out and say, be careful. So that's the next thing, yeah.
This is left.
Oh, I used to use the hands. No.
For bike going, it's still lights. I realize
I don't know if anybody knows what the signal is
the
anymore.
biking, the professionals do it.
Yeah, the professional bikers, but the people who are behind.
Right, so I had a problem
They
this
have to
week. I
know,
was
like-
riding from on to Tel Aviv, and there was professional bike things like they're telling me it's cement. They didn't.
I guess if they're enough like that, so people know what it is about. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Omer, Afilu Temu Lo Yilo Lamud. You could say and further even, and maybe have a few possibilities. We'll start this maybe a little bit colorful. The first shot would be in this Kalposhehu. That would be simple. The simple shot in this Kalposhehu. The Gemara suggests another thing, even if you hold this Kalposhehu, but there's a tiny, you should have gotten up if you had enough time to get up.
Yeah.
And now the Gemara wants to suggest another possibility. I could say Pshat even if Niska Laposheh, and he didn't have enough time to get up. But below his ear. There's a time that he should have screamed out maybe.
He could've-
He didn't have enough time to get up.
So he's high because.
He's high because he didn't warn. And that the Gemara is going to make an issue about. That's not so simple. If Yochanan doesn't hold with that. Oh. And that this last one, the Gemara is going to say some focus about. Rabbi Yochanan is the first one. Rabbi Yochanan says, Shai L'Lamadullah Amad. Rav Nachman Yitzchak is the one who suggested that he should have warned him. That's also a Tanya. Rabbi Yochanan says, if he didn't have enough time to get up, there's no time on him why he didn't scream out and warn, because he's doesn't have his bearings. He's on the floor, he fell down. So if he didn't have enough time to get up, so it's not a kasha why he didn't warn. Because he was, what's the word for Torrid? He was
Too involved.
too involved. Okay.
Or,
Involved in his-
occupied,
Okay.
preoccupied. Thank you.
Preoccupied in his falling.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay, so now we're gonna try to figure out this issue is the machlokes. This is the machlokes issue. We're gonna find if we could find proofs to this concept. Is there a taina that somebody should have warned even if he couldn't have gotten up? Tanan. This is the next Mishnah coming up. But we have a preview now. And the more things in the next Mishnah will have a proof to this issue. Is there a taina that he should have warned? Tanan, hey, another case, not the scenario of two potters following each other, but one person was carrying a beam, which is going to be the mazik, and the other one's carrying a barrel that's vulnerable. That's the fragile one. The beam is not fragile. The chavis is fragile. So the core is going first, and the chavis is but the one who's carrying the chavis is behind it. Nishbara chavis bekore potter. If the barrel got broken from the beam, not because anybody stopped, just the chavis was going too fast. That's Pashut. The guy in the back was going too fast and he bumped into the car and he says, "You broke my car." He says, "You broke I broke your car." He bumped into me. So then,
It's a sort of the one going on the road. So the one behind the road is to blame, never the one in front.
I think so. I
It's
think
like
you're
a
right.
race.
I think you're right. That's because that's a
because
nice
you
thing.
should-
Kind of pointing out. I was going to also say so that I think that nowadays they preempted all these the whole issue, because they say that we're always going to blame the second one, because we tell the second one you're not allowed to be close enough, even in the case the first one makes a
Even
short stop.
emergency stuff.
You all have to be far away, and if the first one makes a short stop, the second one's going to be responsible, or not can't get reimbursed for his debt.
Yeah.
But the Gemara doesn't have that. The Gemara doesn't have such a law. The Gemara is everything's normal. You don't have to take into consideration all kind of things that are not normal. So now the Gemara is going to say that it's possible.
You
if
can
there's a
cars
short
and
stop.
walk.
You're saying that are there laws in walking nowadays? If someone, they don't have too many laws about walking, probably nobody's walking. But I wonder if they have.
They have certain, they're one-way pedestrian places.
And yeah, okay. If
We have it.
And because they're-
What?
Um,
Rocco, we have it busy season.
Busy seasons, they don't.
and
go-
then one person, the one person is gonna bump into the person ahead of him, and someone got hurt. Are you gonna say
It shouldn't have been.
you shouldn't have stopped so short? You should have been standing further away. Why were you standing right behind me? I don't see any laws that people staying behind everyone, especially on the occasions he's talking about that they make. So everyone is neck to neck. But the Gemara has a case here. So far, it's simple. So the first case is simple, that if the second one, the one second in line, that he went too fast into the first one, so surely there's no tightness on the first one. That's partial. The Muhammad Balkora, whatever, it's higher. But if the first one stopped, it seems that he made a short stop, call it, l'chora. So then he is high. He shouldn't have stopped. The second one was going normal, and the first one stopped, and that's why the second one bumped into the first one and broke his barrel, broke this. The second one's barrel broke because the first one made a short stop. So he's chayiv to pay for the barrel. So far, good. That's the end of the Mishnah. Almost. The Mishnah continues a little bit, but so far the Gemara stops over there. My love, I said a short stop, I take it back. It says the first one stopped, so he's chayiv for stopping, and he has to pay for the barrel that broke behind him. My love, he made a regular stop. So the word in the lakatef means literally a katef is a shoulder. That means people carried packages, and once in a while you have to adjust it. That's called the katef, to adjust it on your shoulder. So you have to stop and adjust it. That's normal. That's a legal stop. You're allowed to stop in order to adjust the package. So there's no time on him that he stopped. So why is he high for the Korah? Why is he high for the chavis that he broke? He made a legal stop. Must be the havalei lahazir. Isn't that a proof that there's a time on him, even though he's going to make a legal stop, but he should have warned the guy behind him, I'm going to stop. And what do you see from here? So that seems to be a kasha on Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan said there's no time on somebody that he should have warned, because we didn't have time to get up. He fell, and he didn't have enough time to get up, so there's no time on him that he didn't warn. And before he said the word is torrid, because he's preoccupied. And the Gemara, maybe we would say differently, but the Gemara says this case is a similar case, because if he's troubled, he's preoccupied with adjusting this package, so we don't expect him to have the bearings to tell the guy behind him, I'm stopping. You say it's not a comparison. Falling and being preoccupied is much more.
Yochanan, when somebody trips,
he's much more.
He's
the person who's going to
somebody who's going to stop thought about the fact that
he's going to stop. He doesn't have to stop. He doesn't have to stop on the second. Right, but he still is not the same situation. Someone that fell.
Right.
It's falling and he has to adjust it, but it's not on a split second. Maybe it is on a split second. Maybe it's possible that it's falling. It's falling, and then he's torrid. So the Gemara does make the comparison. Maybe you could suggest the difference, but the Gemara puts it.
Stands his ground, and this is.
And he says you're right that if, according to me, if he would have made a legal stop, he would not have been chayiv for not warning, because he's not expected to warn, because he's preoccupied in his package that he's adjusting. So what is the case? Lo kishamad bafush. He made it. My law.
So what's low?
No, that's not the case. If he would have made a legal stop and he didn't warn, there's no taina on him. The case that it's a taina on him is because amad bafush. It literally means he stopped to rest, which is the illegal stop. You're not allowed to stop on the street to rest when you have a beam on you, or even without a beam. If you want to stop, you go to the side. You're not allowed to stop in the middle of the street. So therefore, that's why he's high. But if he would have made a legal stop, there's no time on him why he didn't warn. So Yochanan stands his ground. But the more still questions is not so much like that, because the end of the Mishnah continues, but you hold that if he would have stopped a legal stop in order to adjust the package, he'd be putter, because there's no time that he should have warned. Adatani Sefer, this is a continuation of the Mishnah before. The Momolo Balachon the mode putter. So I hope that maybe just get this should be clear what the Mishnah is. The Mishnah was okay. The coloring, maybe take away all the coloring over here,
so
because
it seems like a warning, right? He told him to stop. That's a warning.
The Mishnah special he warned, and then he's butter. Let's get the Mishnah here. This is all the Mishnah before. This was the Mishnah. This was the Mishnah. This also was the Mishnah. That's the Mishnah. Then it continues. This is also the Mishnah. So the Gemara stopped in the middle of the Mishnah and had a diak, but the Gemara says no, continue the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that if the one in front, the one with the Korah, told the Baal HaChavis Amod, he said stop, because I'm going to stop. He warned him, so then he is pater. Means the only case the Mishnah found to say that there's a p'tur for the Korah is only if he warned. But according to you, Rabbi Yochanan, there are some times that you're going to be pater even if you didn't warn, if you made a legal stop. It could have kept talking about not warning. He's only chayiv if he stopped the illegal stop. But if he stopped just a package, which is a legal stop, he's putter. Means you don't have to say a case. The only time he's putter is if he warned. Sometimes he's putter if he didn't warn. If he stopped to adjust a package, and there's no time. Rabbi Yochanan, you hold there's no time why he didn't warn. That also would have been a good Mishnah. So why did the Mishnah jump to a case, extreme case that he's putter if he warned? That's like maybe push it. Yeah, I guess that's the one reason. Push it if he warned that he's putter. He should have stayed in the same case that he didn't warn and still he's putter because he made a legal stop. A legal stop. The Gemara answers, he could have said that. He could have said that Amul Akatev is putter because there's no time that he should have warned because he's Mivol Bal. There is a chiddush over there because he made an illegal stop. He stopped in the middle of the street in order to rest. You're not allowed to do that. But if he said, he warned and told the guy behind him, stop, he is putter, even though he did something you're not allowed to do. He's going to do an illegal stop and he's going to cause a problem in the street. But if he tells the person behind him, I'm going to stop, so you stop, so then he is putter. So Rabbi Yochanan still held his ground that there's no time on somebody that he should have warned because he's Torah. And the Mishnah coming up was not so much like that. And Rabbi Yochanan says, I can get through it, that wanted to tell you a chiddush that you putter if you did warn, even if you did something illegal. But if you did something legal, which was means that you were allowed to stop to adjust your package, there's no time on you that you should have warned him. And you putter even if you didn't warn him.
But and for sure, if you warned him,
if you warned him, then for sure you're going to be putter. And that's a chiddush. It might have been a chiddush that a warning is only good when you have no time why you stop. If there's a time why did you stop? The policeman says, why did you stop? No answer. Guilty. But I told him that he should have stopped. That's acceptable. The Gemara tries again to figure out this placement of Brisa about this issue. Tashma. Two potters, the same case as our Mishnah, that were going behind each other, or two, how do you say, glass makers, or glaziers? Is that how you say it? So they both of them had holding glass, whatever, and they were following each other. And again, someone fell, the first one fell, and the niskal rishon v'nafal, the niskal sheni b'rishon, l'shlishi b'sheni. Here, what do they call this when this whole chain? When they call the car accident, and the first
multi-car accident, no?
They don't talk about when there's a whole dominoes.
Well, dominoes is what you're all standing up.
Not Shasheni.
What is that? Somebody said on the Zoom, I didn't hear.
Domino effect.
Okay, well, domino effect, maybe chain accident, chain reaction. So the first one fell, and the second one fell on the first, and the third fell on the second. That's the case so far. So what's the halacha? The first one is high for the damages done to one, and the second one is high for the damages done to the third one. Amish didn't go so far. Amish only had two people involved, and the second one. The Bryce goes further that there was a third person behind that, or you could say a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, and each one is high for the damages done to the one behind him.
It's like Rabbi Yochanan, he'd say it's like Rabbi Yochanan. It's just an extension of what our Mishnah said.
No, because the Mishnah, the first one is niskal. If it's not like Rabbi Yochanan,
who says niskal?
yeah, but niskal, you can learn the Mishnah simple. We mean the Mishnah simple. We say niskal posher. So the first one, what did you trip on? I tripped on my feet. So you're posher. But not the second one. They tripped on the first one. He's not a posher. You must say that there's a time on the second and the third also. There's a time on them. What's the time on them? That they should have gotten up.
Okay.
It means Rabbi Yochanan and our Mishnah didn't have to say what he said. And our Mishnah you could have learned simple. There's no posher. That's really simple. But he said you could say that even Koderbana you should have gotten up. And the Brisa you must say that because there's no time on the second that he fell. He tripped on the first one. He's a bore over there. So the case must be that he could have gotten up. But the Gemara is going to try a little different. Here goes the where we up to. Tashma, right? Here it says the first one tripped on the second, one tripped on the first, the third on the second, and then the first one's high for the second one's high for the third, etc. This is not relevant to us too much right now. We'll put this aside. If it's the first one's fault for everybody, if because of the first one everybody fell, he's high for everything. I would have thought that it means that it's not anybody else's fault. Everything was his fault.
Yeah.
Okay, put that aside. And if they warned each other, if each one said to the guy behind them, stop. So then they're part. Each one that warned is part. Okay, what do you see from all this? My love, the Gemara thought, for some reason, I don't know why, that they didn't have enough chance to get up. They didn't have enough time to get up. So what's time on them? Niskal, they're not Niskal, the second, third, and fourth.
Like the second guy, why is he gonna be clapped to the
Right.
third guy? When he got bumped by the first guy.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault that he fell. He fell on a board. That's not a tiny. So why is he chayiv? So the Gemara thinks because he should have warned the guy behind him. Like it says that if he warned, he's putter. So the Gemara thinks that the case is that he didn't warn, and that's why he's chayiv, because he should have warned. Even though he's in Bilbul, he fell. So you see it's a tiny. So right against Rabbi Yochanan, you see that there is a tiny that this person should have warned, even though he fell. The Gemara says, "Lo, shayilan lamo." Simple teretz that the only time is if he had a chance to get up. Rabbi Yochanan agrees that it's a tiny he should have gotten up. But if he didn't have enough chance to get up, there Rabbi Yochanan says it's not a tiny. Why he didn't warn? So he got out of it simply. But the Gemara continues that that's not so simple. It's not much like that. The Gemara asks, what are you going to say if you didn't have enough chance to stand up to the putter? So why does the Brisa go on to say if they warned each other? This part. Yachi, Adatani say from his he was as a putter. Does it? No, the Brisa only find that they can be putter if they warned the person behind them. They could have said a difference even in the same case we're talking about, that he didn't warn anybody behind him, but only Chayiv if they had enough chance to get up. But if they didn't have enough chance to get up, that the Potter could have said that. Why doesn't it say that? Very similar to before. And the Gemara answers that that's a chiddush, that even if they did have enough chance to stand up, even if they had enough chance to get up, but they didn't, but they warned, they could have gotten up. But he said, it's hard for me to get up, and just stop. That's also enough that he should be putter because he warned them, which is the chiddush of before also. It's a chiddush in these cases, which maybe is a pasha to us, or it's a chiddush to us, that even if somebody did an illegal move, he's a board that shouldn't be, but if he warns not to be careful, that's enough reason that he should become putter.
You mean the second guy is high on the third guy because he didn't say stop?
Rabbi Yochanan says not. What you said now is Rav Nachman Yitzchak to say that there's a tiny should have said stop, but Rabbi Yochanan says no such tiny. That's the whole thing. That's the whole tzir, whatever the word is, that every access that everything is revolving around it. That's the whole sugya. Today's sugya is there a time that when a person fell that he should have warned, or he doesn't have bearings because he fell. Rabbi Yochanan says no such time. There's no time that I should have warned since he's in a confused state. So if he didn't have enough time to get up, there's no time why he didn't warn. That's what Rabbi Yochanan holds.
This Tanus, it says Tanam, it says fire. What's Rabbi Yochanan say? I just don't.
Which Tanam did it say that? This one?
The one with the three.
The three? No, what does it say?
It
doesn't say. It says that he's high. It doesn't say what the case is. It says that they all tripped on each other and they're all high for the one behind them. It doesn't say what the case is. The Gemara thought the case is because he should have warned. They had enough time. He didn't have time to get. Everyone say, yeah, he had enough time to get up. He had enough time to get up.
Oh, not about the warning, about
right. Everybody agrees.
The second guy just didn't get up. And so then the third guy ended up. We see it as fast. Very fast, right. And he sees it as slower. Right. He bumped into him and he fell, and he should have gotten up and he didn't. So then now the next guy.
Right, and that he's surely responsible for. He surely has to try to get up as soon as possible.
In other words, these are guys that are holding the last thing.
Yes or no? Why does it make a difference?
Well, if you're walking behind somebody and they trip, you don't see that they trip, and you don't want to fall on them.
That a person is
he's too busy, like.
So yes.
Why did he trip on?
Yeah, so that would be a kasha on every bar. Why is the bar high when someone falls into the bar? You don't see where you're going. So in that
thing about they don't look down.
Right. No, yeah, and that thing was that even as far as being asking somebody else, that people don't look down.
You don't have to be so careful,
right.
Like in every step.
Right. And surely not to get damaged.
We're walking along. Here's the sense: the person is not down on the ground.
Now he's down on the ground.
Wasn't he in front of you, and now he's not there?
And I'm walking.
Yeah, I wonder where he was.
I couldn't have done that.
Sorry.
Or he was looking at his phone, and all kinds of reasons why all kinds of reasons why people fall and they don't look where they're going. So.
Yeah, but we're saying that the other guy is high on him.
Who?
Number 2 is high on number 3.
Not because he fell, because he didn't get up.
Because he didn't get up, but now you just said number 3 was looking at his phone.
The time is
it's not fair.
Yeah, no, that people look straight ahead on their phone. They don't look down. So if someone falls and gets hurt from a bar, we tell a bar, you're a bar. We can't tell the person, why did you fall? There's a bore. Why? You should have been looking down the whole time. I don't look down the whole time. So a regular bore you chayiv for. The only question is, the one who made the bore, was he responsible for the bore that he made?
Yeah, so get rid of it.
So the
point is
get rid of the bore. So the first one we talk about niskal posheh. We could talk about if somebody stumbles. Why do you stumble on? You stumbled on your own feet. That's maybe a pshia. Some say it's a pshia. We pass it's not a pshia. He should have gotten up. So if he had enough time to get up, everybody would say that he's chayiv. If it was a pshia that he fell, surely chayiv. If it was a pshia that he didn't get up, also surely chayiv. The whole machlokes is if he didn't have enough time to get up, is it a time that he should have at least warned the guy behind you to stop?
He's hurt. He's got a cut leg, and
it means he didn't have time to get up. That's all. Each case. Was he able to get up? Was not able to get up? If he wasn't able to get up, is there a time that he didn't warn the guy behind him? Watch out.
I see. So in other words, Rabbi Yochanan see this Shani is high on Shlishi because he didn't get up. Right. Get rid of the bore.
Right. And that everybody agrees is a time. You could have gotten up, they didn't get up.
Okay.
So that's the end of the sugya. I think that's the end of the whole sugya.
See, and then this whole just like a side thing about the we take it one step further and say warning.
That was the question. That was the machlokas of Yochanan. That's the whole sugya. This is the title of the sugya over here. Is that true or not? Is that a truism? Rav Nachman says there's a time you should have warned.
He said Rabbi Yochanan.
It says right. That's not a time.
We're ended with stalemate.
Right. No, right. We had two questions. The more answered both of them, so stalemate. Who do you paskin like? I have written down something that's a machlokas Rishon. Who do you paskin like? And it seems that the Natiyah towards Rabbi Yochanan here. Oh, here you do have the Gimel over here. Okay, seems to be a machlokas Rishon. Who do you paskin like? I forgot. I didn't see why each one says his way. Rabbi Yochanan against Rabbi Nachman by Yitzchak. Two questions on Rabbi Yochanan and two answers. Is it a time on somebody? And I don't understand Dafka because it depends on a lot of things. And so Chaim Dov talk about the person who sometimes in a certain scenario he won't be able to get up. Okay, that's good. He wasn't able to get up. But now, how confused is a person when he falls that he should be able to mourn? Does he have the bearings of mind? Doesn't it depend on a lot of things? How he fell and how much, how conscious he is of what's happening around him, and that's my mission. Focus is a person so vulnerable that he should be responsible to warn the person who's coming. So wouldn't it depend on each case? There was machlokas about it. Machlokas Rabbi Yochanan Nachman Yitzchak, if a person is responsible, even though he couldn't get up, he should have at least have the bearing that he should be able to warn. Okay, that's the end of that sugya. As far as I think that's the end of that sugya. One sugya over. New sugya.
Today, no. So let's say pull on the side of the road. If you're sticking out there, you have to put up a thing in the back, and we're trying.
That's
not sure.
But it's not here. The question of Torah is there a Torah over here? The only Yochanan himself is only going to say when there's a Torah. So then, but the case that the person has to stop and yet so no, not the Torah. Yeah, that he wasn't able to get up, he fell, or the more case about the Katef also, that he's Torah because the thing is falling off. But I imagine that how much you could say also that somebody's the red lights are broken, but that's not a question of Torah either. We have klolim that we go on the street in a way that you should be mazir, the guy behind you. A wonderful invention they made. And you don't even have to do anything. You just press on the brakes, automatically the red lights go on. Beautiful thing.
The other thing is that the car has to go in every year for roadway. They have to check all the brakes, all the lights.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's part of that whole nizikin.
Okay, I think it's a new segment. Amarava. So maybe we'll highlight him, maybe because there might be some talk about it. This is all of a statement. That's one statement. What do we have here? That there's a chain reaction. The first one fell, second one fell on him, third one fell on the second one, and it says that they're all high. Everyone's high for the one behind him. But here he's going to say there's a difference between the Rishon and the Sheni. The Rishon is chayiv, and also the Sheni is chayiv. But Rishon chayiv b'niskei Sheni ben b'niskei gufa ben b'niskei mamona. The first one is responsible for damaging the second one, both if he damaged with his body or he damaged with his moment. So we're talking about the niskei gufa of the Rishon and the niskei mamona of the Rishon. Again, we talk about a potter over here, a potter or a glazier. So why does it talk about his potter? It could talk about people. That means we also talk about the pots. So The first one fell, and he fell, and also his pots fell. And then the second one fell on either him or his pots. So here it says, when it says the Rishon is high, both if the second one got damaged from the first one's body on the floor, or from the first one's pot that's on the floor. Because if he, let's say Niskal Poshea, let's say that he was negligent in the fact that he fell, so he's a bor, and also his Kalim are a bor. He made a bor. Sheni, now it says that the second one is responsible also.
He is responsible. Only way he can be responsible is because he didn't warn the guy behind him.
No, it's because he didn't get up there.
I wasn't get I guess it's the same club.
So you're not the fall itself, that's what you're bringing out, but the falling.
No, the same guy was not aware that he was falling. He was somebody.
There was a boy fell on a board. He fell on
on the
something.
ball.
So, but he's responsible because he should have gotten up or should have warned. So, but here Rabbi says there's a difference of how much responsibility they have. The first one is high both on his body that damaged and both on his pottery that damaged. But the second one is only high for the third one getting damaged from the second one's body, but not on the second one's pot. That's the statement of Rabbi. There's even though it says here, this is going back on where's Rabbi, where's the brisa here? Here it is. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry, just erased all the things that we're not doing anymore. Use this Hakadorin. Azagog and Shayim Malchan Achar Hasheni. That was the whole story. Rishon Chayev in this case Sheni. And Sheni Chayev in this case Shlishi. That's the brisa. The first one's Chayev for the damages of the second one. The second one's Chayev for the damages of the third one. But Rabbi says there's a difference. The first one is Chayev both if he damaged with his body or with his money. But the second one's only chayiv if he damaged with his body, not if he damaged with his money. Means if it's pot damaged, if the pottery damaged, the second one's not going to be chayiv. And the Gemara doesn't understand, Rabbi. What's the difference between
First and the second.
the first and the second? Why should the first one be more chayiv than the second one? Manushach. In his kal posheyahu, sheni nami l'chayiv. In his kal na posheyahu, afidu b'shen nami lifter. If there's a pshia in the fact that the first one fell, I'm sorry, that anybody fell.
If
The second one, if falling is a pshia, the second one also should be chayiv because it's true he didn't. If falling is not a pshia by him, but not getting up is a pshia by him. So, what's the difference? What's the difference if the time is why he fell or why he didn't get up? If you're going to say that the first one's chayiv even for his money damaging because it's a negligence that it fell, the second one also should be chayiv for not picking up his pottery. And in his kalal posheyahu, if there's no taina on falling or not picking it up, I'm not sure. I feel the first one also should be put there on his kalim because he wasn't poshea, or there's no time that he should have picked it up. So what's the in the short? What's the difference between the first one and the second one? Either both of them should be chayiv on their money that damaged, their pottery that damaged, or both of them should not be chayiv for the pottery that damaged.
Could also be on his body.
What?
Well, it's not kosher, then also maybe even on his body.
So that the Gemara doesn't ask. It's interesting. Interesting. Right? Why doesn't the Gemara doesn't simply ask what's the difference between the body and the property? It doesn't ask that. It asks what's the difference between the first and the second. That the first one is high for his property damaging, the second one's not. I would have thought to ask the way you're asking. That what's the difference? The first explain to me what's the difference between any body, and the second one.
Well, this is kind of global. If falling is Poshea or not Poshea.
What's the difference between the first and we're not really talking about that because the first one was falling, Poshea, not the second one. Surely it's not a pshia that he fell. It's because he fell on the first one. The time is only why he didn't get up. So why does the Gemara get involved in the way that the first one's chayiv, the way the second one is chayiv? Just talk about what is the difference between you damaging or you properly damaging. But it boils down to that's what the Gemara means. It also includes that. The Gemara answers, Rishon, make it a little bigger since it's possible. The first one is a poshea, the fact that he fell, and therefore his chayiv also for his property that damaged. He made the bor. He was a poshea to fall, and that broke his pottery on the floor, and now it's a bor, so he's definitely chayiv for that. But Sheni, the second one, he's chayiv not because he fell, he's chayiv because he should have gotten up. Or you could put in parentheses, he should have warned. That's not our subject anymore. We finished that already. But I'm a mono potter, But for his property, he's potter because he could say that this bore, my pottery on the floor, I didn't dig it, I didn't put it on the floor. How did it get onto the floor? Because
of the
of the Rishon.
Right.
But the
So-
Rishon made bore.
Rishon made the bore.
By making me fall and break.
Right. And now he broke it. He broke my pot.
Right.
Right. Even though now, but you should have picked it up.
It's not mine.
It's not yours. Now it is yours. It's your pot. It's your pot.
Oh, he's still with Tarot
I
to
didn't
be able
make the
to
board.
have the consciousness to pick up the kli, the second one. The first one, he's responsible for his falling, we say. Therefore, his kli is part of his falling. He should have realized that his kli is going to be a mazik to the one behind him. The second one is Torah because he wasn't expecting. There was no reason for him to fall.
Then he wouldn't be chayiv for himself
Right.
either. That's not the
What was
case
the second one?
because he wouldn't be chayiv for his body damaging either. The case is he had enough time to get up. So if he had enough time to get up, means he had enough time to pick up the pieces also.
Yeah, no. What is that?
That seems That's the Gemara. If the Gemara could have said he had enough time to pick himself, but he didn't have time to pick it. Doesn't say the Gemara doesn't make such kind of differences. So he had time. He had time to pick it up, and he's still not chayiv for his kalim damaging. That's what the Gemara is going to try to have. Has to explain.
No, but there's a difference. The first one we say he's responsible for his fall, and the
Yes.
second one is not responsible.
But he's responsible to get up.
Right.
And now he has to explain.
Getting it doesn't seem to include the kli.
That's what the Gemara is looking for. Why not? That is the question.
Right.
That's the question. Why is he not responsible to pick up the cleat? He's responsible to pick himself up. Why is it, even though the fall is not his fault? Because that was the first one's fault. But he's responsible to get up. So you're responsible to pick up your shards also. So this recalls the sugya we had a couple of days ago. Mafkir nizakav lachan nefilas onus. That if the fact that mafkir nizakav lachan, if something fell, they tray of eggs, but you have the case over there, our case, that the fact that he fell is not his fault. But now he doesn't need it anymore. He doesn't need broken eggs. He doesn't need spilled water over there on the floor. So he's mafkin zakav lachan nefilas onus. We had a machlokas about that. If somebody disowns his bor after he became a bor bonus, it wasn't his fault. If it was his fault that he made the bor, surely his chayiv. But it wasn't his fault. And now you say, but it's yours. It's not mine. I'm after it. I don't want it anymore. He had a tray of eggs and he got pushed something, and it wasn't his fault that it fell on the floor. And now we say clean it up. I'm after it. I don't need these broken eggs. So there's machlokas about that. But the Gemara here seems to say that even if the Gemara would say that, it would be simple. The Gemara could have said the reason why the first one is chayiv for his broken shards is because he is posher that it fell. This is called posher. But the second one is only chayiv. How come it was in the filas onus? But now he wanted to pick it up, so he's mafkir. It's not mine. The Gemara could have said that. But I think the Gemara seems to say even if you hold mafkir zachav lachan filas onus as chayiv, that you would have to pick up, clean up the broken eggs over there, even if it was onus. Can't be mafkir now, which is machlokas before. Even if you hold mafkir zachav lachan filas onus is chayiv, here he's not chayiv because he did it. In the first case, we spoke about this case where it was known as day trip, but there's nobody else to blame. But here there's somebody else to blame. The first one tripped me, so he is chayiv for these pieces. He has to pick it up. It's true that it's not supposed to be left around over here, but it's not my business. It's his business. So l'chora, it doesn't just mean that the second one's not chayiv. L'chora, if they add on that the first one is chayiv. He didn't say that. What means Rabbi didn't say. Rabbi just said that the first one's chayiv for the second one's chayiv for the third, and Rabbi said, but it's not chayiv for the money that damaged. But he should have said, he could have told us also, but the first one is chayiv for all that. It's the first one's fault. He's going to have to pay for the damages that the second one's shards, and he should have picked it up because he says this boy I didn't make. So this is Rabbi's svara to say that they can't blame the second one for not picking up the broken shards that fell because of the first one, because it's the first one's responsibility. There was a kasha from a brisa that says, but it's not like Rabbi. Brisa that's going on the story of the 1, 2, 3, 4. It says, "Kula chayavan on this game gufan and putun on this game amona." That's the words of the brisa. That all of them are high for their body damaging, but they're putted for their property damaging, for the shards of the pottery. That all of them, they're all putted. They're all putted. So it says, "It's not like Rabbi."
Same as the same.
Right, even the first one. Rabbi said that the first one's different. Rabbi said that the first one is high for the property damaging. And the Brisa says no.
The Brisa says that nobody.
The Brisa says that Kulan, all of them are only high for their body damaging. They're all potters. A bunch of potters following each other. First one fell, and everybody fell over him, and everybody's pots and that they're all on a mess on the
They
floor.
all got damaged.
They all got damaged from either from the person or from the shards. So it says they're all putter for their shards damaging. They're only high for their bodies damaging. Whoever trips over a person, so then the person is high because you should have gotten up. But they're not high for their shards. The Bible said even the first one, it's against rubber. I would have said that this price holds this Niskal. What's the difference between the first and the second? We said because the first one, the time is why did he fall? But the more could have gotten out of it easily. That there's no time on the first one either. The fact that he fell, this Niskal. The only time is he should have picked it up. So the price will be very nice. And even the first one's also going to put on his money damaging. Is that true? Yeah, because there'll be a mafkin zakaf lachan filas onus. I'm not sure why the Gemara doesn't say a simple answer, but the Gemara doesn't. The Gemara. So I'm trying, but if it's true, so then it's a kasha. Why doesn't the Gemara say that this brisa holds mafkin zakaf lachan filas niskal laposheya and mafkin zakaf lachan filas owns his butter, which is Rabbi Yehuda. That's how we pass even. And it'd be very nice. That's the should be the halacha. That even the first one's putter because it's not a time of why he dropped it. It's a time of why he didn't pick it up. I'll not pick it up because I'm after it. Simple. But the Gemara doesn't say this there. My love afilu rishon. So first the Gemara attacks Rava, and it says here, not like you. You said that the first one is high for his property damaging. This Bryce says that even the first one is putter from the property damage.
How do you read that? My love afilu rishon.
It doesn't. It says kulam. This word kulam doesn't it mean everybody, even the first one? It says the first one. Right. It means even the first one is putter on this game on.
That's what it just said. But they're asking like,
does it? Does it not mean that?
That would mean my government.
This is part of the Gemara's kasha. The Gemara brings a bright. It's not this. Take this away. That's the bright until now, and therefore doesn't it mean even the first one? Kulan.
Okay.
So you ever said that the first one is high bond is property damaging? Doesn't the Bryce say mamish against you? So he tries to get out of it. No, the bar rishon. It means everybody besides the first. The word the bar means the son, the achos, very docham. But the more even makes it more than a docham. It says vakulam katani. It says all of them. How can you say all of them? And it means except one. It means all of the victims, all of the ones who were damaged. The first one wasn't damaged. The first one fell, but he didn't get hurt.
He broke his butt.
It says kulan. Put in the word kulan hanizakin.
Kulan hanizakin.
The ones who that damage. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the first one didn't get damaged. He fell, but he did. He fell. Maybe his pot fell down. Maybe it didn't even break.
One time somebody gave me.
You can't make a difference between his part and the other parts. They all the parts broke. Why would you say his part?
But if anything, he damaged himself. He can't come. He has nobody. He has nobody to turn to.
There's no one to take from.
The first one.
Means they can take the what they're
No, chayavim. What do you mean, chayavim?
Chayavim means that they have to pay, but it's only relevant to the ones who could.
One chayav person. Amazing. So Chaim Dov doesn't like this.
Kulan.
I mean,
they were saying kulan means kulan on the zakin. We're trying to add on a word. It means all of the victims.
All of the victims.
Well, we're not talking about the first one. The first one, he's not on the list over there. He's not a victim, and therefore it doesn't say he's put on this game on now.
I had when I was in Los Angeles, somebody gave me directions that I was going to go visit, and I said, "You get on the Ventura Freeway and you take the last exit." And I was like about 50 miles out, and I called them, and they said, "You went way too far." I said, "You said the last exit." Well, the last exit is the one I always take. That's always my last exit. So. White Oak, that's the last exit. Call it Zekin. I don't,
It doesn't say that.
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
How could he make any sense out of why say kulan on zakin?
I wouldn't ask that person for direction.
Right.
I don't know. But the Gemara is gonna prove that it can be. Hi Mai, how could you compare Hi Mai? What is this? Like what kind of answer is that? And it explains, but it's a little different. If the word kulam means everybody, even the first, that's why you should say all of them, even the first. If all of them means besides the first one, my kulan. Why use the word kulan at all? Listen, Zakin, say Only Hanazakin.
Good.
Kulan Hanazakin. Just say Hanazakin. So therefore this teres is off. So back to the kasha again. So all this is off, and the kasha is Kulan. Just erase all of the, the mess over here.
Oh, what do you mean? The Kulan's not shy?
No, the kasha is back.
shy.
That guy that
Can't.
it
We're gonna
says.
get out of saying that Kula means not the first one.
And Rabba said that the first one is. Rabba says the first one is Chayiv. Here it says Kulan, Keturim.
Okay.
Is that Rabbi going to get out of this?
That's what we're going to look for.
Rabbi always gets out of. He seems to get out of everything.
Elam Rabba. Oh, so here it means Rabba or Rabba,
Right?
but now he's getting now it's Rabba. We're coming. Oh, Rabba. We're coming to explain differently. Mamish, a whole new. Just hold on to this, even though the Gemara is going to go altogether different now. Eventually, it's going to come back to what we thought. So don't throw it away. How do you say? Like you put it on hold, pause, but don't discard it. What we said till now. But now the Gemara is going to say, translate the words. These words. It's very interesting how the words could be read two different ways. These are the words that Rabbi said, but we want to understand it altogether differently. Those words. What do we understand? I translated it that the first one's chai both for the damage that his body did, both for the damage that his property did. And the sheni is chai only for the damage that his body did, not for the damage that his property did. You can look at these words and translate it differently. The first one is chai for the damage is done to the second one, both the damage is done to the second one's body.
That's the first way I read it.
Both of the damage is done to the second one's money. But the second one is only high for the third one, the damage that happened to the third one's body. Now what happens to the third one's property?
But this is a different way of reading Rabbi?
Yes, till now.
So you're saying the second one is just the body, but not the kli. The third one.
Till now we thought when it said Gufo and Mamona, we thought about Gufo Hamazik, Mamona Hamazik. Now we're talking about, I was saying that it means Gufo Hanizik and Mamona Hanizik. The first one is high for the second one's bodily damages, not for the second one's property damages. The second one is not chayiv for the third one's bodily damage. So now for property damages. So this goes into the issue called kalim. I think that's going to be the source of the shah that bore is putter on kalim. And that's going to be the issue over here that maybe you're not going to be high. You might only be high for somebody's bodily damages, not for his property getting damaged, because maybe you are only a bore. Or you have a bore, and the bore is not chayiv on kalim. That's, I think, what the Gemara is going to be doing.
One person who says that even kalim.
There was somebody, Abuda knows the bore is chayiv on kalim, but we're not going to go with him. We're probably going to bore is putter on kalim.
Yeah.
So the brisa, we're going to say that everyone's putter on this game of monon means if their property damages, means what we thought before. The brisa says that's what we're keeping. The brisa is right, and the Rava didn't mean what we thought he meant. That you only high for your bodily damaging, you're not high for your property damaging. And Rava doesn't say different. What does Rava say? The first one is high even for the money that he damaged of the second one. Only but the second one is only high for the third one's damage that he gets out of his body. But if his property got damaged, second one's not high for that. Why? My timer. Why is the second one putter on the kalim of the shlishi? Because the second one is a bore.
Mr. Second himself.
Mr. Second
laying on the floor.
Even the person?
That's the only thing that's higher.
He's a bore, and that's why his kalim is.
Everyone's putter. Everyone's putter for the kalim that damage. That's how we're going with the brisa. Everyone's part, no difference. Everybody, the whole brisa is only talking about the damage that your body caused. They tripped on you, but
they're saying it's.
This brisa is true. We're going to keep it.
The first guy, I thought the first guy was like a man damage.
That's what it is. You're correct. The first one is a man damaging.
So it isn't when he.
That's why it's chayiv on kalim.
He is chayiv on kalim.
And the second one is not considered a man damaging; it's considered a bore.
No, it says here, cool. In this case,
this is saying that only the people any chiv here is only going to be on. It says all the Ramachayiv, but now he says all the Ramachayiv only for the body damaging, not for their shards damaging. And even the first one. Even the first one's not high for his charge damaging.
Meaning, only if he stumbled over the person, not
Right.
if someone stumbled over his kelim.
No one's high for that. And why not? I don't know why not at this point. Why is nobody? Because why is the first one not high for why not high for your property damage?
Because he's not.
Because he made it before. No,
Because he was
Niskal
Niskala. So say that. Say why you could have said it simply then. Nothing fancy about it. That the price knows Niskala Poshea. That's what I was asking before. The price is not so. It's very nice. If you hold this, what's the difference in the first? Rishon Bali Poshea. And this price is Niskala. It's a machlokes. We know machlokes.
Are you making machlokes the prices?
Yeah, like everything is. We know it's machlokes of Niskala Poshea, Niskala Poshea.
Yeah, but who said it's two different prices?
There wasn't a price. There was Rabba and a price.
Rabba was explaining a price, no?
I do.
I'm not sure. 1 minute.
So Rabba explained. Rabba said, "But the law would be if you hold." Okay, if there's a price that says that Niskal La Poshea, Rabba doesn't have a problem. I'm saying the price. I'm saying Niskal Poshea. But that's what you say. That's what the Gemara is going to. The Gemara is going now that Niskal La Poshea, and therefore nobody's chayiv for the board that for falling
For Caleb.
The only chayiv for not getting up, and not getting up is
not getting up. What's that? So why the first one? It's the other mamazik that you didn't get up.
And the second one,
he's a bird.
Why is he not
I know him is that he's not mafkir himself. So
but
take care of yourself.
But I don't see the
I didn't make myself into the.
But I don't see the difference the first and the second. Both of them are not responsible. No one's responsible for falling. If you say this got share, so what's the difference if I fell on my feet or I fell on somebody else? That wasn't a time. Time is only why I didn't get up. So how come the first one is a adam and the second one is going to be a bor?
No, I think they're all bor.
So why is the first one? So why is the first one chayiv on kalim?
No, the first one. What do you mean chayiv on kalim? It says kulam b'turin al.
No, so we're saying this means miskimon means if their kalim are mazik, but now
guy number one fell, and his kalim broke. Now he's got shards and a body, and people number two gets hurt with the shards.
So that it says pturin. It says everybody, even the first one.
The second one gets hurt with the shards in the body.
So
he's gonna for his body, he's gonna get paid, but for his kalim that got broke, he won't get anything. He won't get paid. Why? Because both the shards of number one and the body of number one are bor. There's a bor. So it only pays on the body.
Again. Okay, I missed that. I didn't get what you said. So for one step at a time. Here, it says that nobody's chayiv for their shards damaging. That's what it says. All of them, even the first one.
No, I thought we changed to say we're talking about now the.
No, we didn't change the brisa. No, that's this thing we're changing. We're changing Rava. We're changing Rava. We're changing this. We're changing this explanation. The explanation of this Rava.
Yeah.
We thought Rava was talking about damaging the maz. So, yeah, so this we changed that. But the brisa we didn't change. The brisa says that everyone's putter for their money damaging.
Oh, this is a mesve kula.
That's why we knocked off Rava.
Fun.
And pturin on this, their bodies, right?
Things that their bodies
damaged. They're high for that, but they're all putter for things that their shards damaged.
Okay, I see that.
And we're saying this is true. And we just have to change Rava because Rava didn't say that. Rava said that the first one is high for his shards damaging. So we're only talking about the people damaging, not that the shards damaging. Now, Rava said there's a difference. What was the difference? That the rest of them, 2, 3, 4, they're all chayiv.
On their body again.
No, you're only talking about the body they're damaged, but they're chayiv even if they damaged kalim. Their body that caused somebody else's part to break, I'm chayiv for that. But the first one, no, I'm sorry, they're parted. All of them are parted for the only ones that are chayiv. Everyone's only chayiv for their body. Right. They're not chayiv for their shards damaging. That's the brisa. Now, Rabbi says, very nice, but what are you chayiv for that? For damaging what? For the victim. Which victim are you chayiv for? So he says the first one is chayiv even if he damaged kalim. If the guy's part broke because of the first one, so he has to pay for that.
All the four?
But the first one is chayiv for the second one that his part broke. And the second one is not chayiv for the third one's part that broke. He's only chayiv if the man gets hurt. What's the difference? Why is the first one more like, why is the first one? He said the first one's an Adam. That's what we're saying. First one Adam Mazik and they're bor. Why is it? He says, why am I Adam and they're bor? If they're bor, I'm also bor. All of us were not responsible for falling, we're just responsible for not getting up. I didn't get up, you call me Adam. And they don't get up, they call them a bor.
Yeah, the point is a klutz for falling. Why? What's that do?
No.
It's a klutz for falling. So is that make him not a bor? Just keeps him as an Adam?
He's a come on, have some.
What?
He's a net.
Let's put it that way. You blew it.
Seriousness of your face.
Cool. I think we're saying this Kalaposhe. We're saying it's not considered a negligent for falling, because then otherwise he would be chayiv for the kalim, for his kalim damaging also.
I would say, okay, this is my general question. Depends what type of fall.
But okay, that's back to, but that's not. I really identify. I identify with the question, but it's not going to help over here. There's a cash on that.
Yeah.
Can we say that Niskal is Poshea? And then so the first guy's Poshea because he fell. The other guy,
Why is he not punished versus human being mazik others?
because he's Poshea, he's a man. He should be
Defining the word Adam.
I didn't get it again. Niskal. Poshea. So why is he put the first kalim if he was Poshea and falling, and that's how he broke? So he made a bor. He's a regular bor. He should be high for the bor that damaged. Why is he put there for the bor damaging? The first one fell and make shards.
That's another question. Why is he called that?
That's what we're talking about. If he be Poshea,
this is saying that he doesn't pay for the kalim.
he doesn't pay. No. Here it says he not. I'm not sure if that was saying the same language. Here it says he's not high for shards damaging. He's not high for his kalim that damaged others. I'm putting for my body. I'm high for my body damaging everyone. All of us are high only for our body damaging that it has stripped on the person. But we're not high. All the people are not high for their shards damaging. And we're saying, and what are you going to say? They're not high because there's kalapushe. So what's the time? Why you should have gotten up? Okay, so all of us should have gotten up. How come I'm a adam and I'm high on kalim and the other one is a boy putter on kalim? So I don't get that.
Rashi he says that the second one's less of a poshea than the first.
Even though Niskal La Poshea, even though Niskal La Poshea, if Niskal Poshea, it'd be high for his charge damaging. Must be Niskal La Poshea, but the one who tripped on something else is surely a bigger La Poshea, more enormous. Okay, that's what the Gemara seems to. I don't know, but the Gemara does. The words of the Gemara does explain why the rest of them are going to be put there on kalim because they're only a bor. All the people that didn't get up, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that didn't get up, they're all considered a bor. Bor is put there on kalim. They're responsible for getting up, but if they didn't get up, the most is they're going to be a bor, and the bor is put there on kalim. But Shenki, the first one, he's considered Adam Amazik. And the Gemara doesn't explain why. That I don't see in the Gemara. Why is the first one Adam Amazik and the rest of them are bor Amazik? But a bor is put there on kalim. And we saved Rava because he's not the same words we thought. We thought that he's talking about if you damage, what part of you is damaging. No, he's not talking about that. He's talking about which thing got damaged, not which thing is the damager. The Gemara doesn't stop here. The Gemara doesn't like this because is it true that a person that's responsible for sitting on the floor and not getting up, could you say that he's a bor? The Gemara recalls the old machlokas aboard the low afkari that Rabbi Shmuel Abba machlokas if aboard the low afkari is a bor or not. Shmuel said that it's a bor. No difference if it's hefker or not. It's a bor. And Rab says that aboard the low afkari is not a bor. So here it'll be Adam. Wow. So the Gemara is not happy to say that all of them are put there on kalim because you tripped on me, I'm a bor. The Gemara says it's not true. According to Shmuel, it can be true. You're not mafkir yourself. You're not mafkir yourself. You're not about the person. The person is not mafkir himself. Right. So is he a bor or a shor or Adam? Sure. So call him something. Adam. He's not Adam. So he should be chayiv on kalim. Or a shor should be chayiv on kalim. I call him a shor. Whatever you want to call him. He's not a bor. Rav holds he's not a bor. So this terrace is not good. We tried to explain. we tried to explain Rava that he meant to say that the rest 2, 3, and 4 they're all putter if they're mazik kalim because they're only being a bor. Rav cannot say that they're bor. Rav says that they're a shor or an adam, and they should be chayv on kalim. So this whole shot is off. So we go back to the first. That's why I said don't forget everything before. Don't delete it. Just put it on pause. Here the Gemara tried to all this. The Gemara tried to do, but it didn't work. So we're going to take it out and go back.
What's the Mikara that Rava was referring
Right to the one who's
Is it the
damaging.
person-
Right. It doesn't mean it. The whole shot we changed. We changed the whole terminology. So erase that. Back to the original terminology. Rava l'chor is against the brisa. The one seems to say now that everyone is not a bor. You want to go a drop. No, no one's a bor. They're all other. And the question is, chayiv for your
Kalim the damage.
kalim that damaged others.
Yeah.
And the kasha was that Rava said that the first one is chayiv for his kalim damaging, and the brisa said beferish kulam are pater on their kalim damaging. That was the kasha. We had to get out of that. That's why we tried to change Rava, but now we can't change Rava. So he's against the brisa. What do you do with the brisa? With the kasha lach kula and chayavin, the brisa says all of them chayiv for their etc. Kula chayavin and the rest of it in kula pturin. It really means with the kasha lach kulan. I'll do this if it's okay. Kulan. And it says over there they're all pater for niskei mamonon. And Rava says that the first one's chayiv for his money damaging. The Gemara Vada Bar and Yumika made the Ravina. Shehusku Kalim Bekalim.
The kalim of number 1 damaged the kalim of number 2. Is that what it means? Yeah. Kalim of number 2 damaged the kalim of number 3. And the kalim boars. Only a man is a man. But the kalim are boars. And so they're going to be high. They're going to be clutched on kalim. That's what it meant.
What do the words mean here? They're all high for their body damaging.
Yeah, if their body damaged a kli or a person, they'd be chayav. But if their kli damaged a person, they'd be chayav. But if their kli damaged a kli, because it's a boar, they'd be patur.
Why are they the pater if they're kalim damaged kalim? And what are they chayav for? If
They're kalim for them damaging people.
And what is niskei gufon more than niskei mamona? Why is the people? In what way are people more humble than the money, than the shards? Why is he chayav?
He's chayav because he's a man. So
Well, we said a second ago, he's chayav because he's a man.
Now we went back. Person is going to be wearing wrap.
That is not a bor. A person not. So all the people that were sitting like a klutz and not getting up, they're other, and therefore the chayiv even for kalim
for everything.
But
the shard,
is a bor
and killed, then hit somebody,
But then sat in, so trips over.
that damaged somebody.
That's enough.
Huh?
That damage other king.
Other
I'm saying both cases. If it damaged somebody,
If it damaged
they'll be
some
higher,
person,
not like a boar. But if it damaged their kalim, the shard,
and
hit
then they're pater
the
like a
other
bor.
glass thing and it broke.
They're
because
pater
of the
then
shard.
they're pater on a bor.
Because that shard was a boar.
What's the difference between the first and everybody else?
the second guy, if his kli is mazik anything, he says, "Listen, I didn't make this bar."
And that still stays the same as the top of the page. That the Rava meant to say the first one is different than everybody else because the first one is posheya, not the first one is posheya, and therefore Therefore
His kli, which is mazik something, his shards that are mazik are a bar.
he's
Right.
and the rest of them
Their shards are not their bar.
because they fell bonus because they fell over a bore, and even though you usually have a time on me that I should pick it up, but here I say you pick it up because you're the one who caused this whole thing.
So
That's what Rava meant. Wouldn't be high, even if it's right, it wouldn't be high to manage the person because I'm not high in that bore.
Well, wouldn't
Yeah.
it be the guy they fall and he'd be high on this?
Maybe.
Right. Because you should have picked it up.
But
And
now
that's
they
what I mean.
themselves that they didn't move away, that they can't blame.
That they're
the
fine
guy.
for everything.
Now you already could have gotten up yourself and moved.
And now you are an Adam. You're an Adam.
You're an
And you're Kalim or Kalim. You're Kalim or Bor. You're an Adam and you're Kalim or Bor. And you're Chayv on Kalim and your Bor is Potter on Kalim.
Yeah, but the first number 1's boar is his. And number two's four wasn't his four.
Right.
Number one's
Right. So that's the answer. And that's the end.
The second guy's kingdom is potter on anything.
The second one's Kalim is potter. Means the second one's potter, but you want to know maybe the first one's potter.
maybe the first one.
Because he says that he should have picked it up.
Move on.
And the potter.
On this station.
It's like putter on Kalim. Doesn't say anything.
It doesn't say that the first one is Chaim. It says the second one is potter on his Kalim Mazik. It doesn't say that the first one is Chaim. And we were saying that maybe if he's blaming on the first one, he should be Chaim for that. Maybe. And the Gemara just finishes off. That's this we skipped the whole time. I put in parentheses. And now we have to go back here. When I was in the Bryce over here. Yeah, it was in parentheses. The innocently standing by. This whole thing about the chain reaction, 3 fell on 2, 2 fell on 1, the whole thing. But then each one's high for the one after him.
Oh, yeah.
But if the first one is the cause of everything, then the first one's high for everything. And the Gemara wants to know what's the case that the first one is high for everything. I would have said because no one had a chance to get up.
I always thought it meant that they were like back to back.
Right.
And the first one stopped so suddenly.
And then everyone and they weren't able, they had no time to get up. If they had time to get up, then we'll say number 2, why did you get up? Number 3, why did you get up? So I would have said like you, that the case was that they didn't have time to get up. But the Gemara doesn't like that for some reason. Maybe it's not so normal to be so close behind each other. That's the quote. How could it be that the first one caused everybody to fall? The Pascal the Orchek is shoulder. So I don't get the exact shot, but the point is that he caused everybody to fall. The first one, everyone fell on the first one, not the chain reaction that the second fell on the first, third on the second, fourth on the third. Everyone fell on the first one. How did everyone fall on the first one? So the point in general is going to be that he was lying across the street.
He was what?
He was lying across.
He was lying across the street.
And everybody fell on him.
Pascal, what is a shoulder?
A shoulder just means in a vela, like a carcass.
Like a carcass taking up too much room.
Why is a carcass they always take up too much room? It falls across the road. Carcasses fall across the road.
Maybe
Why?
When it stands, so then it's a lot taller than its width. So it takes up one leg. When it falls, then the legs are out. Let's say it can, right? The legs are out. So the body doesn't take up the amount of the body, and also the legs go across. When he's standing, he's gacha. When he falls, so he's
isn't a Rosh Hashanah 16 amas? Is a camel 16 amas?
It could be a lot of Rosh Hashanah.
It could be a little thing. The point is it's taking up the whole thing. This is
this man is
he's gullus.
It doesn't have to be that it's not 16 amas or the whole road. It doesn't have to be the whole road. It has to be that number 2, 3, and 4, they weren't walking in a single file.
Yeah, they were walking.
There was a 2, 3, and 4, but they were walking.
They were next to
each other, and then the guy lied down,
and then arm in arm, and then all of a sudden his jerk falls,
and everybody's. And the Gemara says another mashal. Again, I don't know what the mashal is. That means a blind man's stick. A blind man's stick.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a walking stick, and then you fall over the stick. He falls and the stick falls, so it's too far over.
Here we're talking about the first one's high fall.
The walking stick goes and covers the whole thing.
But how did what happened? There's a story here that the first one fell. He fell like a landmine.
He's laying like a.
He's laying. What's he lying like? Like a diagonal stick.
No, a blind man uses his stick
back and forth.
There's a difference.
Something about at an angle.
He's across the street.
Yes.
And the second one don't holds, you know what it is, holds that you'll be potter. Because once one person falls, so even if you're on the side of him, you see that there's some kind of what does the weight say?
But this case,
he already continued. He passed the takala. This one is laying this.
How's he supposed to know that it's?
So he already passed.
So it's another way of saying a diagonal line, a diagonal mishal. That the man is lying on the street across the street, but in the diagonal position.
And why did they all?
Because he thought that on that lane there's a michshel, nothing to this lane. This lane is fine. If it would be a straight line, so as soon as
he didn't see the stick.
No, there's no stick. There's a man that's lying on the floor. It's only kichut with the same using, not like a blind man stick.
Like the stick, not the blind man.
No, blind man, and there's no stick. There's somebody that fell in the street, and he's lying like a blind man stick. Diagonally.
And why did they all get?
Why did they all fall?
Why did they all fall on account of?
Because if they would be a straight across, and number one fell, so then number two should have seen my friend fell. What look down? But
it was a diagonal. So in other words, the guy that was the diagonal, the guy near the far end of the diagonal didn't realize
he didn't fall until all of them fell together. They were walking maybe in a diagonal position, so to speak, and then when number one falls, number three already passed that line, and he's falling ahead. So everyone says to number one, "What did you do?" And he can't say, "Didn't you see number one fell?" Usually,
because they all fell
they both fell
I
together.
see that they were walking in a diagonal.
Yeah,
and they all fell on him diagonally.
the first shot understood that still, if you're across the street, everyone fell, but the second one, the Amar, that's why Pinchas is saying that if there would have been a straight across, then it would have been a tiny. You should have seen that he fell. You shouldn't have continued. You should have looked down because your friend fell. Maybe there's something in the street. But if it's a case where he didn't see anything, more or less. What does the Gemara want with these Mishalim? But a kid said the Gemara wants to know, is it possible what fell on the first one? The answer is they all fell on the first one. Not that two fell on one, three fell on two. Everyone fell on number one. So he's higher than everybody. And we were saying, look, the Gemara could have said much simpler.
Really means that they're really falling on them.
Right. So this is right. Nothing to do with the Rishon Sheni Shlishi.
Not that's always.
I would have thought that the simple shot that you said, there was a collision and it wasn't enough time to get up. It even says Shalchem Hachan Zeh. That's how the Brisa starts. The case is they were going single file. The things, no? Doesn't it say that?
Well, they all fell on the first one, so
So it's three separate stories. It's three separate stories.
Right.
Oh, so that's why Reb Zeke made it. Zeke works because it says this one after that one. And if they're on a diagonal, then one is after the other.
You could call it Zeh Chazeh. But what's wrong with the What's wrong with the Pashup shot? That there wasn't enough time to get up. There's collision, a domino collision, and
you still say it's all because
of the first one. You have no time. Okay, the it's true. Okay, Yashikach.
They're about.
Okay.